Imagine a forest deep in winter. Trees heavy with snow, air so cold it hurts to breathe. For WWII soldiers this was not a picturesque scene, but a deadly enemy. The cold was as lethal as any bullet. Many young men faced the Ardennes with only thin uniforms and blankets. No tents, no fires, no rescue. As night fell, temperatures plunged far below freezing. Survival was a desperate fight against the elements, measured in minutes and hours. The silence was broken only by shivering bodies and chattering teeth. The frozen ground stole warmth relentlessly. Alone, a man's body heat vanished into the vast cold. A damp sleeping bag became a frozen shroud. Thousands faced this terrifying reality during the harsh European winters. Hypothermia set in quickly, shivering, confusion, and then silence. Soldiers saw comrades succumb to the cold, sometimes just feet away. To fall asleep alone was to risk never waking up. The challenge: how to survive a night designed to kill you. Yet, in these dire circumstances, soldiers did not surrender to fate. They observed, thought, and cooperated. They rediscovered a fundamental survival principle, one animals have always known. By working together, they found a way to turn the tables on the cold. This technique, born of desperation, holds a powerful lesson for us even today. It's a story of ingenuity and endurance when all hope seems lost. In this essay, we'll uncover a forgotten WWII survival technique, the shelter tube. Simple yet brilliant, it required no special equipment, just teamwork and an understanding of heat. Soldiers facing failed gear invented this life-saving method out of necessity. It's a testament to resilience and the power of community. We'll explore how modern equipment often failed in wet, freezing conditions, forcing soldiers to innovate. Their solution wasn't new technology, but a new way of thinking, pooling resources and body heat. This is a story of shared struggle and ingenuity. I'll also show you how to build a modern shelter tube with basic materials. The principles are timeless and relevant today. We'll reflect on why this knowledge faded, replaced by faith in technology and comfort. The shelter tube teaches the difference between survival and comfort. Its lesson: knowledge, discipline and cooperation are our most powerful survival tools. WWII soldiers were issued modern gear, wool blankets, early sleeping bags. On paper, these should have kept them warm, but Europe's battlefields were wet, muddy, and exposed to wind. Sleeping bags absorb moisture from sweat, breath, rain, and snow. Once wet, insulation failed, bags became cold, heavy, and dangerous. Soldiers, trapped inside wet bags, lost heat faster than with just a blanket. Constant movement meant no time to dry gear. Bags stayed wet or froze. The ground itself was a relentless enemy, conducting heat away. Lying on frozen earth, even in a bag, was a recipe for disaster. This failure shattered confidence in official solutions. Soldiers saw friends suffer and realized they had to think for themselves. The crisis forced them to abandon doctrine and invent new ways to survive. Necessity sparked a revolution in survival thinking. They had to create their own solutions, because the modern way was failing. The shelter tube wasn't invented in a lab. It grew from soldiers' shared experience. They noticed huddling together under a blanket kept them warmer than being alone. This rediscovered the power of the huddle, a principle animals use instinctively. But huddling in the open wasn't enough. The wind stole their warmth. Soldiers began using ponchos or canvas as windbreaks, the breakthrough wrapping the barrier around themselves, forming a tube. 4 or 5 men would lay on a tarp side by side, then pull the material over, enclosing themselves. This simple tube protected from wind and trapped shared body heat. It kept them off the frozen ground, at least on one side. The method spread quickly by word of mouth. No official name, just the tube. Soldiers improvised with whatever materials they had: tarps, ponchos, canvas. The key, a waterproof, windproof shell packed with as many bodies as possible. It was a system born of desperation, perfected by cooperation. A true bottom-up innovation. The shelter tube became a lifeline in the cold. Today we can recreate the shelter tube with modern materials. First, choose a site sheltered from wind, never in a valley where cold air settles. Clear the ground and lay down insulating debris, leaves, pine needles, grass. Place your tarp on top. 2 or 3 people lie side by side on one half of the tarp, packed tightly. Rotate positions during the night so everyone gets a turn in the warmest spot. Pull the other half of the tarp over, overlapping the edges to seal out wind and rain. Use rope to loosely tie the tube if needed, but leave both ends open for ventilation. Place extra clothing or gear along the sides for added insulation. Arrange heads near one opening, feet near the other to allow gentle airflow. This prevents condensation and keeps the inside dry. Shared warmth and simple airflow are the keys to survival. You've now built a modern shelter tube, a powerful tool for cold nights. The shelter tube's effectiveness is rooted in science, not magic. The human body constantly generates heat, lost through conduction, convection, radiation and evaporation. The shelter tube combats all 4, insulating debris and close contact fight conduction, heat loss to the ground. The tarp blocks wind, stopping convection. Inside, shared body heat warms the air, creating a microclimate. Radiant heat is absorbed by neighbours and the tarp, not lost to the night. Ventilation at both ends lets moist air escape, preventing condensation and evaporative heat loss. The result? A dry, warm environment, far more effective than any single sleeping bag. The shelter tube turns a group into a heat-conserving system. It's a communal solution to the problem of cold. Science and teamwork, working together for survival. Compared to standard gear, the shelter tube excelled in real-world survival. Its waterproof shell repelled rain and snow, while ventilation managed internal moisture. Soldiers in sleeping bags got colder and wetter. Those in shelter tubes stayed drier and warmer. The tube was simple, robust, and easily repaired or improvised. It fostered teamwork and boosted morale. No one was alone in the cold. Shared struggle built trust and camaraderie, turning individuals into a resilient unit. The shelter tube was a system, not just a product. It addressed all aspects of heat loss and worked with the body's natural heat. Adaptable and psychologically reinforcing, it consistently saved lives. In survival, these advantages made all the difference. The shelter tube was a better answer to the real problems soldiers faced. It triumphed because it worked, simply and reliably. If the shelter tube was so effective, why did it fade from memory? After the war, outdoor gear shifted from survival to comfort and recreation. High-tech tents and sleeping bags promised convenience, not just endurance. The shelter tube wasn't comfortable or marketable. It required knowledge and cooperation, not expensive gear. As veterans passed, their practical wisdom faded too. We traded resilience for convenience, forgetting that sophisticated gear can fail. When it does, simple old ways are what see us through. The shelter tube reminds us, survival isn't always comfortable. The WWII Shelter Tube is more than a historical footnote. It's a timeless lesson. In crisis, our greatest resource is knowledge and the willingness to work together. The soldiers who survived adapted, innovated and cooperated. Today, technology can fail. Power grids go down, emergencies strike. In those moments, simplicity, resourcefulness and community matter most. Learning from history arms us with resilience and creative problem-solving. The shelter tube is a practical skill, but its mindset is universal. Let's honor those soldiers by embracing their spirit of ingenuity. Value community and cooperation. They're powerful survival tools. The echoes of those cold nights still teach us how to endure and thrive. Before you go, if you found this story inspiring or learned something new today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share practical survival tips, forgotten history, and ingenious ideas every week, so you'll always be ready for whatever comes your way. Hit the like button, share with a friend, and let us know in the comments what survival stories or skills you want to see next. Together, let's keep the spirit of ingenuity alive. Thanks for watching, and welcome to the community.